Wow. You know what? That's going to be a really crazy fight because, Eddie Alvarez, he walks around a big heavyweight. He's walking around about 180, fights at 155, very explosive, cardio out through the roof. But he does like to swing a lot. And when that happens, Conor McGregor is definitely a precisionist. He's one of those precision fighters. He looks for that one punch and he always hits you with it. That mean left hand. So, but he's got great distance management. So, if it does go anyway, if Conor McGregor can make the fight last and really frustrate Eddie Alvarez and get him swinging for the fences and look for that one shot, I think he can win it. But on the other hand, if Eddie Alvarez is a very smart guy, he'll wait a little bit. You know what I mean? Kind of lure Conor McGregor in a little bit. Maybe take him to the deep water and try to finish him out there. Obviously looking for the takedown. Man, he could go either way, man. I hate predicting these kind of fights because at the high level of these guys it's hard to say. I mean, look at, Bisping and Luke Rockhold. Nobody expected that. So anything can happen, which is why the UFC and MMA is the fastest growing sport in the world, which is why it makes it so exciting.
It's a tough one. I think if it's going to stay striking, I think it just depends on if Alvarez can take him down and pin him down. If it's striking, I believe McGregor's the better striker, and he's able to use his southpaw tactics a lot better on a right-handed fighter. Especially when he's probably got the reach and stuff. He didn't have those stuff with Nate. I can't even pick it.
I'd hate to say it, but I think Conor McGregor takes this win for sure. Just because, just basically based off of Eddie comes in pretty wide, and he comes in with a lot of hooks and wild stuff. And McGregor's very straight and very long with his punches, right? So, and Eddie's been dropped in the past with punches too, and he tends to fade pretty quickly in fights, I find. They both actually tend to fade pretty quickly in fights. So I feel like if Eddie can get it to the ground quick, then the fight will automatically start rolling in his favor. But if Eddie has a hard time getting it to the mat, Conor's going to have his way with him on the feet because his distance is so great, and Eddie's too wide, too open for someone like McGregor.
The popular vote would be to vote for Conor because he's the greatest ever, or the popular vote would be go to Conor because we all hate him. I guess I wouldn't know which way to go. I like trying to stay unbiased as as much as I can. But I guess from what I've seen, Eddie's a little bit of a grinder. He's got kind of that nose in the dirt kind of mentality a little bit. So I guess we'll see. I think, same thing again on the feet. That'd be tough for Eddie for the most part. On the ground, I'm still waiting to see a little bit more from Conor there. So we'll see.
Watching Eddie Alvarez in the past, I've watched him when Chad fought in Bellator. Eddie was on there, and I think he fought Patricky Freire. He ended up winning, but he gets dropped a lot. I wouldn't say that Eddie doesn't have a chin, just that he does he exposes himself and he gets dropped a lot, but he does recover and bring it. Him and McGregor has that power. I think he's gonna crack Eddie, expecting Eddie to go to sleep, and Eddie's not gonna go to sleep. And I see Eddie grinding out a 5-rounder on this one. As much as I'm a big Conor fan, I can see Eddie playing it smart like he did when he fought Melendez, and who else did he fight before he fought? Yeah, Pettis, where he just played it super smart and ground them out without taking any risks. Well, I feel he'll do that with McGregor for 3 rounds and then finally start to open up, because I believe McGregor's only got 3 rounds in him because he gasses really, really fast. So Eddie by decision.
I'd obviously like to see Eddie Alvarez beat him. I think he might smother him the old Eddie Alvarez way.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, I'm a huge Conor McGregor fan, but I don't think he's fought anybody like Eddie. And, everybody seems to say that with every one of his fights, but I mean, if you look at the fights that Eddie Alvarez has been in, and he's just a relentless warrior, and he brings it, and he comes to win the fight. He doesn't come to win on points. He comes to destroy his opponent.
You can never count out Conor because Conor's mystical. He's got special powers apparently. I think he's like our version of Tim Tebow, where Tim Tebow can touch you, and through the power of Jesus, he can save your life, like the guy who had epilepsy and had a seizure, and then everyone thought Tim Tebow saved him because he's fucking Jesus, even though people, when they have seizures, they come back and they're alive. They're just an epileptic seizure. So God's not real. Sorry, Tebow. So let's rewind real quick. He's like our version of, I don't know, he has some mystical powers, and it works. But I think Eddie Alvarez is a fucking animal. So it's either going to be Conor taking him out quick, or I think Eddie can hurt him, because Conor sucks on the ground. I don't care how much he says he likes jiu-jitsu or what color belt John Kavanagh puts on his neck. You're not a fucking brown belt. I'm not a brown belt. Okay? Me. I've been doing this for a long time. I catch black belts all the time. I'm not a brown belt. Okay? You're not a brown belt either. I don't care who you roll with or what you do. We've shown that you're like a blue belt at best. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But don't piss in my pocket and tell me it's raining. Like, it's not how it works. Your jiu-jitsu sucks. So if Eddie can get on top of me, I think he's screwed. Because he's got a good wrestler who's got good jiu-jitsu, who is really good at fighting scared and angry. You know, that's a dangerous guy.
I gotta go with Eddie. I'm sticking with it. That was my initial thought. My initial thought was Eddie's gonna kill him, and then as he gets closer, you kind of start seeing maybe Conor might pull it off. But I gotta stick with my first mind. Eddie's gonna kill him. After the first round, it's all downhill for Conor. So I think Eddie will be too big, too strong. He's been in there with too many guys that hit too hard. He's shown that, especially after he gets hit hard, he fights even better. So I don't think Conor will be able to put him away.